Hey folks, beautiful chilly morning here. I wanted to write a real quick video on what I think is, for a lot of teams, the best way to reduce defects. One team I was working with recently, they did a study on where their defects were coming from because they were getting a lot of defects getting into production. And what it turned out was that 80% of the defects were coming from a single source. And you know what that source was? That source was the requirements. And what I mean by the requirements were, there were acceptance criteria that were missing, there were acceptance criteria that were poorly defined, there were edge cases that hadn't been considered, there were non-functional requirements that hadn't been considered. All of these aspects that could have been caught much earlier were not. They were being caught right in production, and that was causing a lot of problems. Now, the obvious solution to that problem is to do behavior-driven development. It's a really simple approach. It works really well, but you've got to do it properly. See, a lot of people still think that behavior-driven development is all about using Cucumber or writing test automation in a particular format, but no, that is not what it's about. The real strength, the real power of behavior-driven development is when you use it to collaborate more effectively, where your discovery sessions are basically interrogations, are basically back and forth, querying, cross-examining the requirements, looking for what if this, what if this, what if this, what else could happen, what could we miss, what edge cases do we need to consider, as opposed to what often happens is a product owner or a business analyst just sort of reads through the Jira story and says, right folks, this is what you've got to build, go off and build it. And you might have a couple of token questions, but nothing really probing. So this is my challenge for you. The next time you're in a requirements discovery or Three Amigos, whatever you want to call it, session, make sure everyone is asking questions. Make sure, go round the group, make sure everyone has questions. Force people to ask questions, get them to write it down, get them to jot down their questions on a bit of paper before they actually ask them. Then go around the room and ask them for those questions. And make sure you get that feedback. Anyway, that's my thought for today. Thanks for listening, folks.